Hello everybody, and welcome back to another one of those videos where I talk about updates on the Steam version of Dwarf Fortress coming from Toady1 and KitFox. We have a Bay 12 post with some interesting bits in it. Of course, it's all text, so I will be showing old screenshots. Maybe you'll get to see my face at the end of this video. Let's dive right in. So this is a post on Bay 12 Games. Of course, if you just want to read the post yourself, there's a link in the description, and I will timestamp when I'm done reading and just talk about the thing, but here we go. Since the posting of the roadmap, we've been working on the roadmap stuff, says Tarn. To start, here's an interview with Blind IRL. Me! You can see that video down in the description if you want to actually watch it. Where we chat about the roadmap and other matters for a few hours earlier in the month. Then last week, we posted a news update with some of the new palette-based graphics in a fort, as well as a progress report on the roadmap. In that progress report, I mentioned I was getting mostly through justice and doing petitions and being halfway through diplomacy. Diplomacy is done now, and the flow is a bit different. It no longer interrupts you repeatedly while a meeting is going on, but rather there's an alert that pops up under the top bar with the petitions now, and you can click to handle the entire meeting or as much of the meeting as you like. So you can go check the stocks and then come back, etc. I also changed export agreements. They now pick 1 or 2 goods to focus on each year and raise the prices more than they did before, rather than giving you a longer list of percentages for lots of goods. Ultimately, we want to have even more tailored arrangements, but this was a fast change and it helps a bit. Since then, I've started on the unfinished tabs in the unit sheets. For instance, the Thoughts tab now displays all of their recent thoughts. The overview page it starts with just has a shorter list at the bottom, in a list. This is more legible than the old through paragraph. I've also added a memories section so you can see which memories they've relived in their thoughts, and which emotions are attached to them, and if their personality changed as a result. These are grouped by season and year chronologically, and gives you a nice impression of how their life has been over time. Other bits have come up during this time since Zach is always running a fort and we've been repairing things as they come up. Incidentally, before the more focused bug push in stage 3 of the roadmap, loyalty cascades should be gone now. I've fixed a few ways in the intra-fort fights can start lethal or become lethal, but knowing some will always creep in, I've also had the game cancel lethal in-fort fights periodically. This stops the job cancellations where civilians are constantly running from each other before they ruin the fort. And we eventually want to tie this into the justice system so that there can be an actual resolution to whether the lethal issue was, hopefully, without calling it involuntary, dwarf slaughter. Next up, unit tabs, and that should get us through the health stuff when it's done. So now I'm talking to the camera. And some people asked me to do this after the last video, so I figured I would for this little update, just because of the, lack of the screenshots and whatnot. So this is a very mixed perception for me, because I actually really like loyalty cascades. I like it when everybody starts fighting and then it ends in calamity. If you go watch one of my most recent fortresses, Hotbeards, which is as part of the Crimson Pulley series that I've been doing, there was an instance where Hotbeards encountered a loyalty cascade and it ended with a lot of bodies. We went from about 160 dwarves down to about 40. But we survived. The perpetrators were put in prison. The offenders who caused the slaughter were ended. They reforged by hammer, shall we say. So generally, I actually like loyalty cascades. I think that they're an interesting storytelling element, but I don't like them when they cause the infinite unknown end of the fort. If you see them coming, I think they can be a lot of fun. If you've got a very well set up justice system and you're keeping an eye on artifacts being stolen and you're keeping a close eye on your dwarves and you don't have any problem with dwarves, and then suddenly what happens, it can be fun if you see it coming. However, if you're not expecting it, it's a very frustrating mechanic for the player. So I'm really curious to see how this ends up sorting it, especially if we can end up with the occasional lethal kill in a tavern brawl or a loyalty cascade. If we could end up with the occasional one and then I can actually condemn them and there's a murder charge in the justice system, I would actually like that a lot more. Than the system that we have right now. As much as I find it kind of amusing to see everything explode into violence out of nowhere, a lot of people don't, and I get that. So I think that this is a positive change for the better in general for Dwarf Fortress. And as always, if you would like to let me know what you think about this change, leave it down in the comments section below. Check out my podcast if you want to hear me talk about other games. And aside from that, thank you very much for watching this video, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Now that the green background is back, if you want to support me on Patreon, you can see my patrons on the screen right now. These people keep these videos possible and allow me to keep an eye on the internet for Dwarf Fortressy things and then stream full-time, as well as put together the occasional other video for you. I've gone through a schedule change recently, which is making me forcing me to focus a little bit more on the Patreon, but hopefully it's not obnoxious. Of course, you can also support Bay12 Games, the people making the video game that I've been talking about a whole lot, but I'll shut up now and get out of your hair. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I said this already, but I hope to see you in the next one.